All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 9 of Foodie Fridays. I don't know if we're going to continue to number them or not, but so far I can count this high, so we're all good. We're in Iowa City today, speaking with Jay Cooper, fellow entrepreneur, Iowa-based business owner just like myself, but we are also featuring Hudson Southside Tap in Iowa City off of Highway 1. So we're going to talk about what it's like to be an entrepreneur in Iowa, what's the state of entrepreneurship in Iowa today, but probably talk a little bit about the Hawkeyes, because Hudson Tap is a Hawkeye bar out here. They actually have a radio show that takes place here during every game, I think home and away, but they have an after party for the home games.
That's right.
Yep. So yeah, they are making some burgers, some delicious food for us right now. But Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself for people. They hear me every week, so let's hear from you.
Yes.
A little bit about what you do, or because you own a couple different companies, startups.
I have a lot of different hats that I wear. So I guess the two companies that were featured this week, one of them is called BondingBox. It is date night delivered at home to busy couples. So especially if you have small kids, if you've got 20 to 30 minutes in there between you get the kids to bed and when the couple wants to go to bed, we've got short activities that involve games and food that they can do whenever they have that kind of short little period of time to just reconnect and actually talk to each other.
Yeah, and actually, Jay will be featured as the email deal in November. So if you're one of our email subscribers and you get offers, I believe it's 10% off your first month of BondingBox. So look for that email coming in 2 weeks. It's the second Wednesday of every month. And so what are some of the games that people can expect to maybe get in the BondingBox when they order it?
A couple of our biggest sellers, one of them is just candy checkers. So, most people know how to play checkers. So what we did, we took a checkerboard, we put little prompts of things you either say or you do on there. I don't know, nice things you can say or do with your spouse or significant other, and one side is kind of sweet and sappy, and then you a couple glasses of wine in, you can flip it over and it's a little spicier, a little racier. Do that, maybe that's the end you do more toward bedtime. That's your thing.
I like it.
So people really enjoy that, and it's something that can be reused time and time again. All you have to do, if you eat the candy that was with it, you just get something else, gumdrops or chocolate or whatever, and use those pieces. And so because we wanted, a lot of these box things, they send you all this, and there's all this packaging, and you end up throwing out like 80-90% of it. We're trying to kind of reduce a little bit of that and have our stuff be reused. So
where did this, obviously you're married and you guys probably work on things and finding things to do. So was that part of where this idea came from? It was like, what the heck do we do? And then you found a solution, you want to take it to everybody else? So
it's kind of, it's how I ended up being on the team. So this company idea actually came out of something called Startup Weekend Iowa City. We have one here in Iowa City every year, and a lot of other communities have it. I know they had one just over in Rockford recently. I was actually talking with him this week. And, it's essentially you take this idea that you or someone else has, you form a team around it, and you try to build a business out of it over the course of just a weekend. And we managed to get first place at that. And we thought,
awesome,
maybe we're on to something here. So we just kept kind of plugging along, and that's why we're still just plugging away at it today.
That is awesome. I didn't even realize that. I thought maybe you had this idea, and then you got into like the entrepreneur scene, but it was like you got this idea from participating in sort of the scene that we got here.
So the guy that was the originator of the idea has 6 kids under the age of 10. So he and his wife are always desperate for something to do for a date night. Even if they just have that 30 minutes, they can't leave the house. So so that's how the idea was born, and my business partner and I just kind of kept going with it after the original idea guy, he's an app developer, not a box developer. So he thought, I don't want to keep dealing with boxes. You guys just give us the baby.
A lot of paper cuts from packing things in cardboard and shipping them out.
Not really his thing. So we just kind of ran with the idea, and we keep coming up with new ideas each month to send out.
Awesome. And so what's the furthest box you've sold?
We actually sent one out to California.
Awesome.
So we're just doing the U.S. right now, just because shipping is ridiculous. So we're sticking to the U.S. may eventually have an international version at some point.
We will see. Yeah.
It's down the road.
More to come. That's awesome. Have we got anybody on the East Coast yet? Are we coast to coast? Close? I got some friends on the East Coast. We can get them signed
I
up.
think we're close. I think Ohio or Tennessee might be the furthest east we've got.
That's great.
So,
that is
kind of
great.
funny how it went west first before it went east.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I enjoy traveling west.
Yeah.
East.
Yeah. Because you were out that way for some other entrepreneur stuff too as well.
Definitely. A month ago, they had Denver Startup Week
up
there. So went out for that and learned a ton of stuff and hoping to bring that back and, help out our entrepreneurial community with some of that information.
Because you do a lot. And like Jay's helped me. I've come up as far as expanding Blue Jacket to Iowa City. And I don't know if I met you at 1 Million Cups first or met you at Entree Fest first. It was probably around the same time.
Young Entrepreneur, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep. That's right. Yeah. So, okay. These all blur together.
Yeah, they do.
Because they all are unique, but they all have one word in common.
That's right.
And it's a lot of the same people. But yeah. So, I mean, you do a lot more than I do. I guess I'm a member of the Jay shakes his head. He's like, yeah, I do a lot more than you. No, sorry.
I do
it's
too
true.
much.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I'm just a member of the entrepreneur community, but you're what we'd say is like a community leader or organizer because you work with a few other people here in Iowa City for not just like the startup weekend, but also 1 Million Cups is where we've grown to know each other and stuff. So what is it like? What makes you want to not just be a member, but actually somebody helping lead others?
I've always thought you give before you get.
Yes.
And I found the best way to do this is to help run things like Startup Weekend, like 1 Million Cups, things where people with ideas can come together, or even the open coffee thing before 1 Million Cups, where people just get together, they can meet each other, they can.
Awesome. Yes. The best part of Foodie Fridays, everybody.
Just places where people can get together and do things.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. This is Cameron, the GM of Hudson's. Welcome, everybody. I'll hold this up if you want.
Spicy mac.
Spicy mac and cheese.
Yep. Blackened chicken, jalapenos. There's some grape tomatoes in there also. We make all our mac and cheeses from scratch here.
Yeah. That's looking good. That's not Kraft. Sorry, Kraft. What do we got here?
It's our Douglas burger.
Douglas. Who's this named after?
Douglas Street.
Okay.
All of our burgers are named after local streets around us.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they were going to be Hawkeye players.
No.
Okay.
But that's your standard barbecue bacon cheeseburger. Our burgers.
Sorry, Jam. I'm going to lift this up for him on the back end.
Okay.
Look at that. Oh, look at all the bacon.
You're just
and
meddling
everything else.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
man.
get our beef locally from a farm in Columbus Junction, and it's processed at Bud's Meat out of Riverside.
Shout out, Buds.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
Then we got the Maynard here.
Maynard.
Yep. You have basil pesto and homemade guacamole on
That's
there.
That's why I got this one because I saw the aioli or the pesto and the guac. I was like, sign me up.
Yeah. All of our burgers are sided with hand cut fries.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you see the gun show right here. I cut a lot of the fries.
There's a lot of physical effort in cutting fries.
There is.
Is it like a push down thing or something?
Yeah, you just got it like a little slicer, put the potato in there, and bam.
Oh man, that is unbelievable.
Yeah. Cool.
Anything
Delicious.
we want to tell these people what we got going on here this weekend for Hudson's or what you guys do on a regular basis? Because I know I mentioned the radio show, like the after parties for games.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should let these people know about Hudson's?
Well, we're always open. If you want to come on in and watch the Hawks with us, I feel it's a great place. Lots of room, great TVs, nice clean atmosphere.
Great burgers, fries, and mac and cheese.
And on top of that, we run half-price nachos all day. You can also get $2 domestic bottles or tall boys for $2. And any craft pint from Iowa you can get for the 10-ounce price.
Awesome.
So make it worth your while to come on in.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where you're watching the next Hawkeye game, for sure. That's awesome. Well, appreciate it, Cameron. Thank you very much,
guys. Anything else I can reference?
I think that's all. Appreciate it. This looks amazing. Now
Awesome.
we're gonna embarrass ourselves on Facebook Live for people.
Feed your face.
Yeah, feed our face.
Make the face happy.
We'll
All right,
do.
I'll
Thank you very much, Cameron.
This looks delicious.
Man, these fries are great too.
There we go.
So, this is the funnest part of the show. So, we're gonna do a little bit of face face feeding, but we're also going to talk some more about, where we were going with the state of entrepreneurship in Iowa, and really, another friend of ours, Andre, is great at helping organize 1 Million Cups. You work with him, and what we were talking about was that it's always funny when someone from Iowa gets publicity. It's like Iowa's in the headline. It's like, entrepreneur from Iowa did this, and it's like, what, you don't think we can do that here? Like, they always preface it with like, from Iowa.
It's there's definitely this misconception that, and I've gotten this when I've traveled places. They think it's just kind of one farm after another, that there aren't really any cities at all.
Yep.
And they think, well, how big? Because they think we talk about a city and they're thinking, oh, maybe 5,000, 10, smaller size town sort of thing. And I know folks from Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, these towns are over 100,000. Des Moines is over 200,000 people. And
Des Moines like 400,000 now.
Yeah,
it's
with all
big.
the suburbs and everything, and you show people pictures of these places, like their brain is like exploding because they think, you have towns here? What? So it's a well kept secret that we're doing all sorts of fun stuff.
And I mean, this is sort of like the stigma too, like you said. Iowa's known for cornfields, actually, but I mean, Illinois has Chicago, but Illinois actually has more like acres of farmland than Iowa does.
Yeah, it's a bigger state.
But it's physically, like, we get the reputation for being it, which is good. We like being the ag tech central. But so let's segue into. He started talking about all the beer deals and craft beer deals that they have down here at Hudson's. So you don't necessarily dive into this craft beer section, but you also do something else unique with diving into the craft cider industry. So what do you do with the craft cider industry?
So my other business I'm working on, one of them, called Cider Finder, and it's an app I'm currently building that will take two groups. You've got your craft cider enthusiasts, and you have your craft cider makers. There are about 600 or so, and it's growing every single year. So once we get the thing launched, and there are going to be cideries that come out of the woodwork and like, why are we not on this? And I'll say to them, you didn't exist 6 months ago when we started putting this list together. So the app is going to be ready for public consumption to line up with something in Chicago called CiderCon, the first week of February. So we are busting our butts trying to get this thing built beforehand, which I know as another person with an app development can take much longer than you want it to. But
take your timeline and push it back a while. No, that's really unique. And like as soon as we met you, I didn't know much about you, so no disrespect, but I was like, there's got to be something like this out there. And you know what? I get it too. I get it all the time. There's got to be something like this out there. I went and looked, and I was like, there's really nothing out there. And like the fact that I should have known, because the if somebody had done it before, they would have named it Cider Finder. Like that's just knocks it out of the park with the name. I love my Blue Jacket bee, but sometimes it's like, Blue Jacket doesn't really tell you what it does while it's doing it.
Exactly.
Or but you
have to dig. You have to another layer or two deeper before you're like, that makes sense.
But with Cider Finder, that's great. So how are people going to interact with the app? Like, what are they going to use it for? Is it going to be similar to like other solutions like Untapped for beer, but for cider? Or what's the process? What's it going to look like for the users? So
Untapped is the thing we always get compared to. It's like, well, why don't people just use Untapped? Why do we need this other thing? So a lot of craft cider people just like craft cider and don't want to deal with a beer app that they think Untapped, even though it has the ciders in it already. And rather than, Untapped is more of a kind of gamification of drinking, which is not exactly what we want to do. Ours is more of a discovery platform. And as of 2 weeks ago, we're starting to talk with a company out in California that does the sales end of it.
Okay.
The liquor laws are different in all 50 states, and they're all incredibly antiquated. So we were dreading the fact that we were going to have to start dealing with some of this in different states. We were hoping that we'd be able to partner with someone like this, that we could just say, okay, we want someone else to deal with this. We'll just take a percentage. They can take a percentage, whatever. So people will be able to put their preferences in for what ciders they like. They'll be able to then the app will tell them, hey, there's 10 cideries near you within 100 miles of you with the types of cider that you like. Kind of send you that way. Eventually, we're hoping stores and restaurants and bars will be part of this too, and say, you know, whatever Hudson's has on tap, and say, you like dry ciders. Hudson's has 3 of them or 4 or whatever they end up having, and kind of increasing the awareness of cider, increasing, you know, where people can find these things, because, you know, think of folks with gluten allergies.
Yeah,
they can't drink beer.
You to it.
They can't drink beer, so but they still want to go out there with their friends. What's more inclusive than being able to say, okay, there's 2 ciders that I may like on tap here, while my friends are having a wheat beer or a Pilsner or something. I can have a cider and actually be part of this.
Yeah.
So,
well, and like that's huge. I think is you know, I poke a little fun at my wife here. Like, she got this intolerance test done on the food she's intolerant to, and came back with everything. Right. Yeah. Ironically, not gluten. But
that's usually the one thing people are like.
That's the one thing everybody's intolerant to now. But yeah, so like as that grows, like I got cousins who have celiac disease, so they actually are like allergic to it, and it really affects them. But as people start to get away from that, like it's not really affecting the craft beer industry too much, really.
No.
You know, I mean, it's still booming, but as people find out that they are gluten sensitive or intolerant, you know, they're going to continue to look towards ciders as that inclusion thing, right? Mm-hmm. So
So, and you know, craft beer, not only is the cider part of it growing, craft beer is not decreasing. You know, it's not growing the way it was like 10 years ago. That's more cider and actually craft distilleries. So whiskey and cider that are made in very small batches. That's also the future. So we're also looking at that as, you know, people always ask you at these entrepreneurial things, you know, what's the next step? How do you plan to scale this thing? All these other questions about money. The great thing about Cider Finder is we love cider. We want to do as much as we can for cider, but we understand there are other types of alcoholic beverages out there that aren't being served by Untapped or any of these others.
Yeah.
So you can have whiskey cider. You can have bourbon whiskey finder. You can have bourbon finder. You can have tequila finder. You can have all these different things that we are in the works. It's a matter of just taking out the database, putting a different one in, putting a different logo there, and poof, you have a brand new market that you're working on.
Are you looking at having that all within one app, or are you looking at
right now? We're looking at separate apps. But Cider Finder is step one, mostly because I like cider a little better than whiskey and bourbon. Nothing against whiskey and bourbon and all those things, but I'm a cider guy. So going with what I love first, you got to have that passion for what you do.
With Cider Finder, then, what are some, like, everybody knows Angry Orchard, the Beaver one,
the Woodchuck,
yep, and Strongbow, right?
Yep,
those are 3 big ones. Those are, but like, are there some like Iowa ones or Illinois ones that people listening might want to like look for that like they can't find in Cider Finder yet because it's not out yet? But like,
will be in there.
It will be in there.
Local to where we are in Iowa City, we have Wilson Cider. Just up north of town is where their orchard is. It's actually closer to my house than Iowa City is, so it's kind of interesting.
And that's Wilson Cider?
Wilson's, yeah. So Wilson's, they just recently bought Sutliff, which is just slightly north of them.
Okay.
So they're both the same company, but they've started producing the Sutliff cider again.
Awesome.
Actually, it's more kind of on the dry end. Wilson's is a little sweeter. South of here, down hour and a half from Iowa City, is Fairfield. Which is actually where the rest of my team is, and is why they kind of steered me more towards cider. They actually have 2 cider makers down there. Jefferson County Cider Works. They make some amazing ciders down there. If you've never been down to Fairfield, their tap room is just west of town, and it is an amazing place to go. They've got a food truck. I've only been down there once. I'm planning to go down there again next year when I have a chance. Just amazing cider down there.
Yeah.
They also have the Cider House, which does their own line of cider.
This is all in
This is all Fairfield.
So the 3 cideries?
2.
2.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Wilson's is up here in Iowa City, just north of Iowa City. So just here in eastern Iowa, we've got 3, 4, but it's 3 just amazing cider makers that people
Awesome.
can check out. So yeah, that'll be the fun part about Cider Finder.
And right now, I'm thinking of like, how do I know where to find them? Where are you going to tell them not just restaurants, but also like distribution, bottling, and canning?
Yeah, so the app is going to, we're just putting the cider makers, their tap rooms in. So it would say, you're in Iowa City, you've got both Wilson's north of you, and you've got the 2 down in Fairfield southwest of you. And let's say it has, depending on what your preferences are, if you put in you like sweet ciders or you put in you like dry ciders, it'll say, X, Y, or Z cider from Jefferson County Cider Works might be things you like. So then you might want to take the trip down there. You might be able to find like most of Wilson's stuff you can find in stores here. So you can say, I saw that at Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
It says I might like it. So maybe I'll go spend the $10 for a 4-pack and check it out.
That's great. I really like that. Because I'm not necessarily a cider finder or a cider finder drinker. No,
Sure.
I will be a user, but I'm necessarily like a cider drinker. But it's interesting to like learn about the Iowa ones because I could have told you about all the Iowa City breweries, but I didn't necessarily know about the cideries.
Yep.
But that's awesome. And like now the Quad Cities, we don't have any cideries, but we do have our first meadery.
Oh, very nice.
That's coming out. We got to really. What town in Iowa doesn't have like an extensive beer scene now, right? But it's sort of cool seeing like everybody support local, from that standpoint, whether it's restaurants, breweries, foods. We talk about that a lot on this show as far as like the getting into that. Like we like local restaurants, local food, local ciders. So I'm really excited for you and for that to come out. I can't wait to hear what you say about CiderCon and how that goes and to download the app.
Yes.
As we sort of come to an end here, just to remind everybody, we are at Hudson's today. We are eating some delicious burgers. Hudson's is one of the newest Iowa City locations on Blue Jacket. You can use the app to come down here and get $5 off any $25 purchase down here at Hudson's. All you'll do is check in. Sting checked in, and then boom, that beautiful green redeem button shows up, and you'll hit the redeem button, and boom, it's plain and simple.
Redeemed.
Also, what you might want to do if you really like Hudson's, go in and give them a green thumbs up right there, as you can see at the top. That's going to subscribe you to them, and they'll be able to send you more offers. Or better offers more often. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever, Facebook Live. And then Bonding Cider Finder is what we've been talking about. That's one of Jay's companies. The other one is the BondingBox, which will be featured in the Blue Jackets email newsletter coming out this month. 10% off your first month of the BondingBox with our promo code. So subscribe to the email. Support Jay. Support Iowa entrepreneurs. Support Hudson's. Support the Hawkeyes. Or Notre Dame, whatever team you're a fan of. Are you Notre Dame too?
No.
Oh, okay. You're
I'm a
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
Okay. I thought you were saying like me too.
My 2 diplomas from Iowa would say I'm an Iowa fan. Yeah.
Okay, I have a diploma from either, but I went to private school. So as every private school kid, I grew up a Notre Dame fan. But my family is 50-50, Hawks and Golden Domers. So, so I fall in the middle. Any last thing you want to say about your companies, yourself, Iowa entrepreneurship, or what's your sign off here?
So I guess my sign off. So BondingBox will be in your newsletter. If you're interested in the Cider Finder app, we're collecting email addresses for the beta test group.
Yep.
If you'd like to beta test this and give us either nice feedback or not so nice, we can use both. You go to ciderfinder.co, and there's a link there. Just plug in your email address, submit it, and we'll let you know when the app is in beta.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah,
Jay.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing food.
All right, we're going to finish this amazing food. If you want some yourself, download Blue Jacket and come to Hudson's. We'll see you here, guys. Take it easy.